Ladies and gentlemen, Mollusk here, another quick Guild Ball catch-up. This is my first game into Masons, and we've got Skatha versus Hammer. Terrain, we have a patch of fast ground, a forest, and two obstacles, I'll say. An unusual angle this time because my camera was out of charge, and so Insidiously Mad is the kind provider of the pictures for this game. You may note a considerable increase in quality. I've taken Fahad, Ulfa, Zarola, Jakar, and Skatha. The Masons have taken Mist, Wrecker, Hammer, Brick, Mallet, and Flint. Oh, and I also took Veteran Minx, who I forgot to deploy in a sign. Good start there, but she ends up being deployed over here. So as we can see, Mist has kicked, and is nestled up almost perfectly against that rock. Zarola collects, passes to Jakar. I think she misses, and I think I'm Midnight Offering Jakar. We take the ball out onto the flank. Looks like Jakar goes in on Brick, doing some damage, getting the trap down to interfere with the countercharge aura, and then Skatha has snowballed him back even further to safety. Behind the forest, away from Hammer, and Flint has come up aggressively and been cold snapped for his troubles. So this is the end of turn 2. Start of turn 3, and several things have happened by this point. Mainly that Mallet has been bludgeoning Veteran Minx, and thanks to her amazing defensive ability, she has survived and slipped through the Masons' line. The Masons did manage to get the ball off me. I gut and strung Hammer with Jakar, but I think due to a flub roll, I couldn't back to the shadows far enough out of threat. And basically, Hammer surfed Jakar using his pushes all the way to the goal and scored, also taking Jakar out for a 6-point activation. So, beginning of turn 3, I've brought Jakar back on the board, outside of Hammer's threat range, and looking to get Flint. A somewhat precarious position, you might think. But before I take down the sexy Flint, Skatha takes the ball and scores. I decided to dodge back into Flint's engagement to stop him countercharging, and the ball gets booted out super far down the pitch. A pathetically easy snapback goal for Mist, but instead Flint decides to go and push Jakar off the table. Score is now 8-4, and I assume my opponent is banking on me scoring again and putting the ball out into a more or less similar position for Mist to then sink the game. Well, who am I to disappoint him? So Ulfa goes. We go over here, snag the ball, generate some momentum around the snared Wrecker, dodging out and then making a pass to Skatha, who takes the snapshot and misses, the ball rolling slowly into contact with the marker. By the end of the term, despite my best efforts, Hammer manages to get into attack somebody. I'd placed Ulfa out of his range, but between either Brick or Wrecker, they knocked him back in. I stood Zarola in front of Hammer. Love unpredictable movement here, but the sneaky bugger managed to worm his way around her and get in to attack Ulfa. But it took too much effort and he couldn't get the kill this turn, making him sad. But not to worry, my opponent had both 7s and so got the initiative again. Hammer goes, kills Ulfa, score is now 10-4, gets the ball and clears it out to Wrecker. Skatha dodges between Brick and the Armadillo and manages to tackle the ball. It looks like I clear it to space. I'm not sure why I didn't pass. I'm sure I passed to Zarola. Maybe she was just out of range or something. And then I clock out, so score is now 11-4. Not quite sure I remember right what happened here, but Flint has gone in on Zarola or something, and I have an unpredictable away. And then instead of going for a goal with Minx, I went in on Flint with Jakar, and it seems to have backed to the shadow to get the ball. Very strange. Anyway, after Jakar's activation, I clock out, and so the game goes to the Masons 12-4. Really good fun that game. Made some really terrible mistakes with Jakar being too close to the edge. Ulfa surprised me by nearly doing his job. I like to say that pretty much any player can do what Ulfa does if you play them in the same way. But that's not entirely true this time. His maneuverability and dodges, where'd they go in particular, did help me retrieve the ball from the midfield. I think I even managed to trigger Blood Scent so that I could get the range and the extra kick to make the snapshot, which unfortunately didn't succeed, but could have. And yeah, then he died. But he does one thing per game, and if that one thing wins you the game, great. Usually it doesn't. Was definitely very impressed with the survivability of veteran Minx, but I don't think I ever used her Blessing of the Sunfather, and I think that's a major tool that Skatha really needs for either herself or Zerola. Yep, many thanks to my opponent, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.